Hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and welcome back to another transfer news live stream. Welcome back to another video, and all I ask you to do is hit that like button, subscribe down below, and tell me in the comment section or the live chat before I get into the content, if you could make one more signing for Manchester United, who would you make? Comment in the live chat and all of that. But today we have been linked with a young French CDM that plays for Monaco in Tchouameni. Is that how I pronounce his name? Probably not. Do I know how to pronounce his name? No, but I'm calling him Tchouameni. I've probably said it wrong, but he's a 21-year-old who plays for Monaco in Ligue 1, that is French, and he plays as a CDM. Now, Manchester United have been linked to him a lot today. He's also been linked to Chelsea a lot throughout the transfer window. I'm going to talk exactly what's been said about him, what's the news about him to Manchester United, what's the source that it's come from, is it reliable, and is there a possibility this deal could happen? And obviously, of course, there's a possibility this deal could happen. That's the first thing I talk about. We know we want a midfielder. We know that if we sell Jesse Lingard, he would be an affordable midfielder. He's probably not going to cost any more than £40 million. We know he's a good player. We know that Chelsea want him. However, people are saying he's not for sale. But you know what? Players that aren't for sale often get sold. Jack Grealish wasn't for sale. He's gone. Kane's not for sale. He's probably going to go. That was news coming in. But he's played 42 games last season, 3,400 minutes last season. So he's got a decent injury record, a good young player, and did a really good job in Ligue 1. So I'm going to talk about exactly what's said about that player and more, but I just want to address a few live chats quickly. So any questions for me, get them down below in the live chat, and then we will be getting right into the transfer news. Am I a little bit laggy on stream, guys, by the way? I feel like I'm lagging a little bit. Is the Wi-Fi being okay? And all that. But let me know your thoughts on Tchouameni. Again, I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Let me know your thoughts on him down below, and I will discuss what's been said. But scouted by the best clubs in the world, worth spending some money on potential world-class player, says this person, Umberto, which I agree. I'm a big fan of him for what I know of him. Have I watched him play before? Only once. Am I massively aware of this guy? No, but from what I've heard, from the reports on him, the videos I've seen on him, he looks like he could be the real deal. Nick Morris says Pereira on loan until December 2022 is true, and Williams is leaving on loan after Sunday's game. Yeah, Williams is going on loan to Norwich, and Pereira has gone on loan to Flamengo. West Ham want Lingard, but for less than £25 million. Man United want £25 million for Lingard, but I think we will end up negotiating with West Ham and selling him for about £20 million come the end of the transfer window. Nick says that United no longer want Soundigez as he doesn't fit the player they want. Yeah, report from the Manchester Evening News saying that Manchester United no longer wants Soundigez. It looks like it's Tchouameni, CAMAVINGA, and Ruben Neves as our free midfield targets. We do not see Soundigez as the player we want. However, Fabrizio Romano said that we are keeping an eye on the Soundigez situation. Any news on CAMAVINGA? The news on CAMAVINGA is United are interested. United want the guy, but they might start looking for alternatives for a midfielder. You know, if United sell Jesse Lingard, they will want to sign a midfielder. CAMAVINGA is first choice, but if he doesn't make his mind up anytime soon, we are going to be looking at alternatives, and those alternatives would be Tchouameni. They would be Ruben Neves. Now, I'll talk about news on Lingard. Lingard will leave this summer. I'm 99% sure of it. I just think we'll get 20 million from him, not 25 million from him. I think he will go to West Ham. We're not going to use him, but we're really not going to use Lingard. There'll be no point keeping him. Sifrat said, Tchouameni looks great for United CDM position, but isn't he more or less expensive than CAMAVINGA? He'd be £40 million, so he'd be around the same price. But I think in terms of becoming an out-and-out CDM, he has the most potential because that's what he does. And I think he's the decent player for £40 million. As we know from Fabrizio Romano, as we know from a lot of Tier 1 journalists, you know, United want a midfielder. A midfielder is now the priority position now that we cannot get a right back with TRIPPIER being priced out and DALOT staying. However, whatever midfielder we sign isn't going to be a midfielder worth £50 million. We know that from Fabrizio Romano. We know that from a lot of journalists that we want the midfielder, but we're not going to be breaking the bank for a midfielder. I'm really sorry if my Wi-Fi is playing up. Let me just know what's the quality of the stream like, because I've got a low Wi-Fi bar signal coming up in my corner, so I don't know why my Wi-Fi is being shit. I mean, it is normally shit, but you know. He is the Monaco midfielder. Umberto says Varane's class act watching his first training with United. Wow, he will make the team so much better, and I do agree with that. I can't wait to see Varane for United. I really hope he features versus Southampton, but I have a feeling his debut will be versus Wolves. And another comment asking, so is it a choice of either CAMAVINGA or Tchouameni? Who's the better alternative? I still think CAMAVINGA is first choice because he will be cheaper, and we know that United do prioritise cheaper players in the past. But I do think if we can't get him, we will go for Tchouameni. However, Chelsea are also in for the player. Sarr is another one, but he's expensive for 40 million. I agree. And United should do a lot of research via statistical comparisons to find out who offers the most potential in the CDM position. And again, I agree. And Bertha says that Neves is a safe buy. He would just go straight into the team as a single CDM. He can improve us as well, he's still young. Yeah, I somewhat agree with that, but I still think Neves isn't really an out-and-out CDM. I think he's a pivot player, and we know from FABRIZIO Romano that we're interested in Neves, but we know our interest in Neves has significantly been we're less interested in him now. Our interest in Neves has cooled. Tchouameni is more like Carrot, great with vision, and CAMAVINGA is more like SEN, great with tackles. You know what? That's a very, very true comment there as well. Hello to everybody in the live chat. The quality isn't the best. I'm really sorry if my Wi-Fi is playing up. I can't do anything. I've got that one Wi-Fi tab bar and it is pissing me off a little bit, guys. But literally there's nothing I can do about it. So I do apologise for that. I'm here to update you, also says Rashab. And yeah, this has been told from the journalist Santi that he is not for sale. But Kane was not for sale. Grealish was not for sale. A lot of players that get told are not for sale when their clubs say they're not for sale. They often get sold if you throw the money at the clubs. A lot of clubs would be like Maguire wasn't for sale. We throwed 80 million and then they couldn't resist. Wan-Bissaka wasn't for sale. We throw this much money and they couldn't resist. A lot of players that are not for sale, like Varane, Real Madrid, were like Varane not for sale. We won't sell him. Here you go. You throw money at a club. If a player's not for sale, they don't care once you throw money at them. I don't think when someone says this player's not for sale, it matters. Because at the end of the day, unless you're the richest club in the world, Chelsea or Man City, you can't say to someone he's not for sale because most clubs need money. Most clubs need money. So I wouldn't worry about that. And Tchouameni is better because he's more likely to play for the badge than CAMAVINGA, says this guy. And you know what? CAMAVINGA is faffing over. Should he go to United? Should he stay? Should he go? Should he stay? So maybe you're right. Again, he hasn't moved to Chelsea. He hasn't left Monaco. But if we can get him, it would be a very, very good signing. Yeah, I'm really sorry that the stream is really, really laggy, guys. All I can say is I do apologise. I don't know what's going on with my Wi-Fi. It's ridiculously laggy. All I can say is that I do apologise. I will get one. I will get one. So I do apologise for the stream. The quality, it's not my best quality stream, but hopefully it will sort itself out during the beginning of the stream. But yeah, my Wi-Fi is just having an absolute fucking stick. I'm going to close all my tabs and just hope that it sorts itself out and all of that. Which order player Man United want to buy now? The situation with Manchester United is I think CAMAVINGA is still #1 priority. Then I think someone like Tchouameni could be second, but we want to wait for someone like Mohamed Bahasfi, FABRIZIO Romano, someone tier 1 reliable, The Athletic, to confirm that. The source that linked us in, the source that said we're likely to make a bid for him isn't tier 1 reliable. So I think we just have to wait until someone tier 1 reliable talks in. And Steph says Tchouameni is a wonder kid, a real CDM, box-to-box player. Great for steal the ball. Board of MU can talk with Monaco. It's great target. I can watch a lot of skills about him. I'm French. Well, it's good that someone that's watched him a lot in the French league has that to say about him because, I think I don't watch much of the French league. So very good that you've had that to say about him because I'm sure he's a great player. But again, I've only seen him play once or twice, which is a shame. Lingard price drop from 25 to 20 million. I think that will be the situation. I think Lingard will go for 20 million. I don't think we're going to get 25 million at him from at this rate. And he only has 1 year left on his contract. I think if he had more years on his contract, we get more money. Michael says we'll probably sign in 2023. You know what United are like. And Joe said he'd be happy to sign Tchouameni, but I'd rather save the money and play either Fred or Scott and buy Rice and Ndidi next summer. We need the best players to their assigned position, not potential player. Now, guys, what do you have to think about Joe's comment? Because I get what Joe's coming from. He's like, he'd rather not buy and just wait till next summer when that player's ready. But I'm in a situation right now where I just think Man United are one signing away from challenging for a title. I think we're one signing away from challenging for a title where I feel like we need to buy the CDM this summer because this is our chance. And then next summer we can focus on Haaland and focus on the other essentials. For me, I think we need to get a CDM this summer to finish the team off because it's that. For me, it's the one priority position left and a position that we should have gone for this transfer window. Obviously, we haven't, but for me, it is. So for me, I just want a CDM. Even if it's a CDM for a future, cool. Then we can get an out-and-out CDM next summer. But for me, I still think we need to get that one more midfield signing in as well. So what is the news about Tchouameni actually? What has been said about him? So a journalist called Sasha Tavaleri. Now, what is Sasha Tavaleri reliable? Look, FABRIZIO Romano follows him on Twitter. But other than that, I don't know much about him. He said things before. I'm going to give him bang average reliable. I'm not going to say listen to him. I'm not going to say don't listen to him. He's called Sasha Tavaleri. He said that Manchester United are interested in signing Aurélien Tchouameni and are in talks with his agency. It's possible that United will make an opening bid to AS Monaco for Tchouameni before the transfer window closes. That's what he said. So he's saying that United are interested in the player, and it's possible that we could make a bid for him before the transfer window closes. And making a bid for him is the really important thing, because we're monitoring FC. We can be interested in a lot of players, but if we really want to buy a player, we're making a bid for them. And if we're serious about signing this guy, we will make a bid for him. Will we make a bid for him? I don't know. We have to wait and see what happens. But I think with him, I think with CAMAVINGA, I think with Neves, I think especially if Lingard leaves, I can see us making a bid for a midfielder. I can, especially if Neves leaves. Stupid loan Pereira just said, I do want to talk about this. I think we should have sold Pereira. We're in a situation where we can't sell players because of the ridiculous wages we give them. How can Chelsea get 40 million for Tammy Abraham? How can Arsenal get 30 million for Joe Willock? And we can't sell Pereira. We can only get him on loan. How can we only loan our players? Why can't we sell any of our players? Because I think Pereira's a £12 million player. Why can't we sell him? He wants to leave. He's willing to take a wage cut. Why are we accepting these loan deals for our players? I think, look, I like Pereira. He's a hard worker. He's got a good attitude, but we know he's not good enough for Manchester United. And I think it's really, really disappointing with Pereira that, you know, we are subjecting him to another loan deal. I think we should get rid permanently. I don't know why we can't sell players. I don't know what it is about Manchester United. I don't know why we give players like Phil Jones a new contract. And I don't know why Pereira is getting a second loan. Surely we should be selling him this summer. Like, I'm happy he's got a loan because we don't want him in the squad, because he would just be taking up the bench space of youngsters like Lingard and Tchouaméni, who probably could offer more in the future. But I still think Pereira should have been sold. Cool, a loan, fine, but Pereira should have been sold, because if you sell Pereira, that is £10 million. You put him out on loan, that's okay, it's a little bit safer than wages. And I understand loaning players like Brandon Williams, because they could still have a future at Manchester United, but Pereira does not have a future at Manchester United. As much as I love the guy, as much as I rated the guy, as much as he's a pre-season Polo, he does not have a future at Manchester United. He's not even getting a loan in the Premier League team. He's not even getting a loan for a top 5 league team. So I think we should have sold him. I think we 100% should have sold Andres Pereira. Charlie MUFC says Lingard to West Ham, 20 million is going to happen. I agree. I can see it happening as well. I think Lingard will join West Ham come end of the transfer window. We will miss the pre-season Polo. Does he want to go to the Premier League? Pereira, no. I don't think he does, because is Pereira good enough for the Premier League? That is a question as well. Does Pereira want the Premier League? Is he good enough for the Premier League? You don't know. I think the situation is, we know Diallo wants to loan in the Premier League. We know Tchouameni wants to loan in the Premier League. And we know Williams wants to loan in the Premier League. But Pereira, he's gone to Brazil. Is it Brazil he's gone to? Flamengo. This is a Brazilian team, right? Is it a Brazilian team? No, it's Syria. No, Brazil. No, it's a Brazilian. It's a Brazilian team. I did think it was a Brazilian team. I just wanted to Google that to make sure my facts were straight. But yeah, any questions to me, guys, by the way, pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to read, reply, and address as many comments as possible. And again, I apologize that my Wi-Fi is being ridiculously slow today, and I apologize if the quality of the stream is not up to its normal standard. I can't really do anything about it. My Wi-Fi is fucking shocking at the moment. So again, I do apologize for that. And Noah says, hi Alice, do you think Varane and Sancho will be in the team against Southampton? I think no, because Ollie has his favourites. I think Varane will be involved. Sorry, no, I think Sancho will be involved, but I'm not so sure about Varane, if you want my honest opinion. My match preview to the Manchester United Southampton game will be on Friday night. Well, I'll be talking about the game and what I expect to see. But again, I think Lindelof will start, but I do think that Sancho could come in for Dan James. I think Sancho should come in for Dan James, because you spent £72 million on Sancho. And if Rashford wasn't having his surgery, I know we would have sold Dan James this summer. If Rashford wasn't injured, we'd 100% have let Dan James go this summer. We actually almost tried to sell him last summer. So I think Sancho will start, but I don't think Varane will be involved. Jaden says, Ollie is stubborn. I doubt he'll use any DM. We get it for you guys. It's Rice or McFred. This is the situation I worry about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like, he started the first game of the season with McFred. I think he's going to play McFred versus Southampton. Is Ollie seriously going to go into another season with Manchester United not giving Donny and Matic a chance and playing McFred? Because if he does, I'll be really, really frustrated. Because yes, McFred works versus Leeds, but they worked versus Leeds last season and they were awful in all the other games. So as well, that's my theory with it. Michael says, go out and buy the best Wi-Fi you can. Spend 50 quid a month. It's business expense. Invest in your career. Look, it's normally not this bad. It's just playing up today. It's a one-off. I think I will get an extender. I'm really sorry that my Wi-Fi is just being shocking today, guys. All I can do is apologise. It was fine this morning. It just decides, my Wi-Fi just decides before I go live, you know what, we're going to be shit. We're going to play up. So it is what it is, isn't it? Nick says Flamengo do have an offer of 15 million euros for United by Pereira, as he will only have 3 months left on his contract once his loan is up in December 2022. And I doubt they will do that unless Pereira smashes it on loan. And Fabrizio Romano says that Manchester United appreciate Tchouameni. He's one of the names on the list of midfielder targets with CAMAVINGA and Neves, and they will make a decision soon. I'm sure that was true. I'm sure that's true. You know, it is what it is. Obviously, this probably isn't the real Fabrizio Romano, but I'm sure what this guy said is probably true. It's probably something that Fabrizio Romano will come out and say. Any questions for me, guys, do get them down below in the live chat. And of course, if you are new to the channel and you haven't already, do make sure you're subscribed down below to Alice Talks Football. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, do make sure you're subscribed down below to stay updated with latest Manchester United updates. We're going to be live tomorrow night with a transfer news update. We'll be live Friday night, and on Friday we will be talking a little bit about the transfers ins and outs. So as well, and we'll be doing a match preview come Friday about Manchester United versus Southampton. Will Varane start? Bada bing, bada boom. And all of that. I want to see Sancho start against Southampton. I really want to see Sancho start against Southampton. We will save a lot of the Southampton talk for the Friday game where I will be doing my match preview. But I'd be really disappointed if Ollie does start Daniel James versus Southampton. I know Daniel James has had more pre-season than Sancho, but if Donny van de Beek and Matic have had 10 times the pre-season McTominay and Fred have, but McTominay and Fred start first and second game of the season, and Daniel James has had more pre-season than Sancho has, but Sancho can't start first and second game of the season, it just proves Ollie as his favourites. I'm sorry, Dan James had a pre-season, he starts. McTominay and Fred didn't have a pre-season, but they're starting other players with a pre-season. So second game of the season, you need to drop your favourites, Ollie. You need to play the best players. You cannot do any of this, that. I think, you know, the way I look at it is, cool, McTominay and Fred didn't have a pre-season, but they're starting over Matic and Donny. So I expect that Sancho will start with Dan James, even though he didn't have a pre-season. And anyway, Dan James was absolutely shocking in pre-season as well. We've got to remember this. Like, Alanga looked better, Shodatiri looked better, Palestri looked better. Like, I'll be starting them over Dan James. But Dan James, you get a very hard worker. But for me, you don't get much more with Daniel James, other than a hard worker. Just join what's new anymore. Manchester United got a new midfield target in Tchouameni. That is the new news. And what is your fantasy Premier League score? I think it was like 75 or something. That is the code to my FPL league. I know it's a little bit late to join. You would have missed the first game week, but that is the code to my FPL league. So you can join that if you haven't joined it, by the way. 4FX, 4AB. But yeah, sorry guys, again, I'm going to apologise to everyone joining the live stream. If the live stream is laggy, I apologise. My Wi-Fi is just being absolutely shocking today. And Axeman says, I think the main pair of Varane and Maguire, and then switch one match for rest. Yeah, I think Varane and Maguire will be the main centre-back pairing coming into the season. I just don't expect Varane to start versus Southampton because he wasn't even involved in the pre-season friendly the other day. I think Varane's debut will be versus Wolves. I do expect to see Lindelof and Maguire versus Southampton. Whether you like it or not, I expect to see Fred, Lindelof and Maguire and Dan James versus Southampton. But I think Sancho should start over Dan James. And, I think most people probably would agree with that, to be fair. Maguire signed on the 5th and started on the 11th. Why can't Varane, after signing on the 14th, start on the 22nd? You make a very, very solid point, and that is because Ollie loves Lindelof. That's probably nigh. And we need Sancho's creativity on Sunday. This is something I want to talk about, guys. This is something I want to talk about. So what I've noticed is when we played Rashford, Martial, Greenwood as a front three, Rashford and Greenwood didn't provide Martial much service when you think about it, because Rashford and Greenwood like to cut in and score. When you put Pogba on the left, now I do prefer Pogba central, but when you put Pogba on the left, he provides that creativity. You know, he got 4 assists. Obviously, he provides that creativity. And I think, imagine having Greenwood at striker with Sancho on the right providing creativity and Pogba on the left providing creativity. Greenwood or whoever's playing striker, I'm sure is going to get a lot of service if they have 2 wingers that provide creativity rather than 2 wingers that like to cut in and score. And I think, Sancho and Pogba on the left on the wing, could create a lot of chances for players like Greenwood. Are any outgoings going to happen, Alice? In terms of outgoings, Brandon Williams will join Norwich City on loan next week, and for Andreas Pereira to Flamengo on loan has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. Jesse Lingard could be on a permanent move to West Ham. However, West Ham do not want to pay £25 million for Jesse Lingard, so it could be one that drags out like the Smalling deal and we sell him for £20 million and all of that. Look, I know the resolution is terrible, but my Wi-Fi is absolutely horrendous today. I'm not sure what's going on with my Wi-Fi, so all I can do is apologise that this isn't going to be one of my best quality streams. That's all I can do is apologise. And how much would United bid for Tchouameni? I think £40 million possibly would be the mark. We know that Manchester United want to sign a midfielder, but if we sign a midfielder, we're not going to go for a proper expensive midfielder. We would love Declan Rice, we'd love Ndidi, but we don't have the budget for a Declan Rice and a Ndidi. So even though we want to sign a midfielder, it would be a 30-40 million pound midfielder if you know, we were to sign one, let's just say. Again, I just need to apologize for the quality of the stream. It's bugging me. The quality of the stream is really bugging me, guys. I would generally end the stream and restart my Wi-Fi, but I can't. So I do apologize for the quality of the stream. I'm just gonna put that in chat. Quality Wi-Fi is playing up. Any questions for me, by the way, please do pop them down below in the live chat, and do make sure you subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news. Again, I can't. My Wi-Fi is being absolutely shocking today, but at least you can hear me. So again, I apologise for that. But any questions, guys, pop them down below. Andreas Pereira deal is done and completed. Here we go. Confirmed. Flamengo will sign Andreas Pereira on loan till June 2022. That is the case. Pereira will be leaving on loan. Again, annoyed. It's not a permanent thing. Did Donny start in the 9-0 win versus Southampton? Donny did not start in the 9-0 win, but he got 45 minutes because he came on in the second half with Martial. Sancho should start versus Southampton. I expect Sancho to start, but you never know with Ollie picking his favourite Dan James. And do you think we're going to get Goretzka off Bayern Munich? I think it's possible. I think it's very, very possible, but I don't think we will get him. I think that Goretzka is using us for a new contract, and I don't expect us to get Goretzka. I generally think he's using us for a new contract. Yes, Gami says unlikely, maybe next year on a free when Matic are out. Yeah, I think if we are going to get Goretzka, it would be next year on a free if he does not extend his contract with Bayern Munich. But I'm pretty sure he will extend his contract with Bayern Munich. I think he's just using Manchester United to go and see if he can get higher wages. And Nick says that United aren't really in for Goretzka, which we know. James is just pace as Axeman. I think James is a hard worker. I think defensively he does his role well. I just don't think he is in the same wavelength as anyone else in that team. I think it's so obvious when we watch versus Leeds, it was so obvious that Daniel James was out of place with that team. Look, McTominay and Fred aren't great players, but you can look at McTominay and Fred and go, they didn't look too out of place with the team, whereas Daniel James did. And I think that's the situation. I just don't think Daniel James is good enough for Manchester United. I think he's a Premier League level player. I think he'd be great at Brighton, great at Leeds. I think he'd be good at Southampton. But again, with Daniel James, I think he needs to leave. I think he needs regular game time. I think he needs a team that's going to be more counter-attacking and have less of the ball. And I think he would suit it. James was good versus Leeds. They love to attack. I don't think James was that great versus Leeds. I think he was great versus Leeds once, but not in the other games and all of that. And any news on CAMAVINGA? The CAMAVINGA situation, again, guys, it just has gone a little bit stale with CAMAVINGA to Manchester United. We just have to wait. We just really have to wait and see what's happening with CAMAVINGA to Manchester United. It's just one of those. And we need Ruben Neves to win trophies. We definitely need a CDM if we want to win trophies. I don't think we're going to win the league. I think if we want to win the league, if we really want to push for the league, we'd have to sign a CDM if we wanted to win trophies. Guys, make sure you hit that like button if you haven't already. We're going to go and try and get 100 likes by the end of the live stream. So if you have not hit that like button, please do make sure you go ahead and hit that like button. Let's see if we can get 100 likes by the end of the live stream. And any questions for me, make sure you do, in fact, comment them down below. Joe says 40 million for an unknown French CDM is baffling. 35 million for Neves is the deal to be done, says Joe. And you know what? I somewhat agree with you there. I definitely agree with you there. And Basuma is literally there too. Look, this is the thing again. Daniel James could get a move to Brighton. We could say, look, Brighton, we'll give you Daniel James for free and we'll give you 20 million for Basuma. Bada bing, bada boom. That's what I would do. I'd use Daniel James to reduce the price of Basuma and give basically Daniel James to Brighton for free, because Brighton do need an attacker. And I think Daniel James, you know, he worked with Graham Potter before. He knows the manager. I think Daniel James would 100% suit Brighton. So that's what I do. But yeah, smash that like button, guys. Let's go for 100 likes. And I saw, don't know if it's true, but I saw on a site that we're going for a Adama trial. We get linked to him every year, but there's nothing in it. But we've signed Sancho while we go for a Adama trial. And Jadon Sanchez says, what about Donny? I feel for him. Will he be game time in the UCL and PL? I hope Donny gets more game time this season. Look, even if Donny isn't a regular starter, he was never used last season when he should have been used. I just hope that Ollie rotates the squad more, because as I've said time and time again, who won the Champions League? Chelsea. Who won the Premier League? Man City. What did Chelsea and Man City do that Manchester United didn't do last season? Rotate. Why did Chelsea and Man City look a lot better towards the end of the season? Because they rotated. We didn't do that. So I really hope that even if McTominay and Fred are his first choice pairing next year, he's more reluctant to rotate McTominay and Fred. Is the Tchouameni bid news legit? Just joined. Quick recap, Alice. Look, I can't tell you if it's legit. If it comes from FABRIZIO Romano, if it comes from Mohammed, it's legit. If it comes from The Athletic, it's legit. It's come from like just your average journalist that FABRIZIO Romano follows on Twitter. So no, it's not like legit. It's a tier 2 journalist saying that like we like Tchouameni, we're possibly making a bid for him. But it's not like tier 1 news. You know, if it was tier 1 news, this would be like a breaking news live stream. But it's not tier 1 news, unfortunately. But I think there's definitely a possibility that it could happen, though. is what I'm trying to say, by the way. Keep getting your questions in down below, by the way, guys. Make sure you are subscribed and all of that, and share this video. Bada bing, bada boom. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news and you're not subscribed to the channel, do subscribe to the channel, because tomorrow will be a big transfer news update. Friday will be the Manchester United versus Southampton match preview, and on Sunday will be my watch along and all of that. Now, the United Muppeteers actually talked about Tchouameni back in May, saying that Neves, Tchouameni, CAMAVINGA, Sal, and Lemaire, these were all midfield options that Manchester United were looking for as potential pivot players. And they said that back in May, and the links to Tchouameni again have started today. So we definitely had a long-term interest in Tchouameni. And United faithful said on Twitter, according to new reports, Manchester United interested in signing Aaron Tchouameni from Monaco. Heard it's a decent DM, but I'm not going to believe anything until my guy Mohamed Batasi has come in, the most reliable French journalist, and I somewhat agree with this. Again, guys, all I could do is apologise for the quality of my stream today. It's really, really bugging me that my stream quality isn't up to its normal. So I could just apologise for that. But please get any questions for me in the live chat. My video is all about audio, not picture anyway. So any questions for me, please do get them down below in the live chat. But I'm going to pop this tweet up because I think this is a tweet that really confirms it. Like, we do have interest in this guy, but I think this is the tweet where I'm like, I think listen to this. You know, that's what I'm going to say. So I'm going to leave that tweet again on my screen. Alice, is the Monaco player any good? I believe he's good. I've only seen him work once and all of that. And someone says, like, Kerry, it's your Wi-Fi spots not working. My Wi-Fi's been atrocious today. It's really bugging me. It's really, really bugging me. And yes, says Tchouameni is good. I had like 8 man of the match performances. Could definitely be an upgrade on Fred. I agree. To be fair, I'm a big fan of most CDMs that we get linked to, because I think most CDMs that we get linked to are an improvement on Fred and McTominay. So, you know, a lot like Neves. Is Neves my dream CDM signing? No, my dream CDM signing would be Ndidi. But if we sign Neves, if we sign CAMAVINGA, if we sign Tchouameni, if we sign Kessie, Basuma, Sakaria, I'm still going to be happy because they're a significant improvement on Fred. And I think if we get a CDM and we can win the league, I don't think we can win the league with Fred and all that. 95 people watching, well, 100 people watching now, so do hit that like button if you haven't already and get your comments in this chat. Hi Alice, do you think James is thirsty quality? I don't. I think James is Premier League quality, but I've said it time and time again on the channel. I like Daniel James. I think he's a good player. I think he's a hard-working player. But look, as Mega Controller says, James is a system player, good for open space versus big teams and sitting back on defensive shapes. But he's okay as a bench player, but I don't think he's good enough for Manchester United. And I wouldn't start him over Palestri. I wouldn't start him over Lingard, Hannibal, Shunatiri, and I definitely wouldn't be starting him over Amad Diallo or even Jadon Sancho. So, yeah. And Arsenal sold Martinez for 17 million and now signing Ramsdale for 24 million. Arsenal are, in fact, Banter FC. Like, we can all admit it. Arsenal are Banter FC. Like, there it is. There was a tweet I saw earlier today, and if I can go through my liked tweets, I can probably find it, where we were bantering. This is it. This is it. This is Arsenal. Look how much Banter FC they are. They would have spent more. Arsenal on the verge of spending more money than us this summer on these players. Like, and they've barely improved. Like, Arsenal generally are Banter FC, aren't they? Yes, as I meant that James is a good pick versus Leeds and other sides who attack us when we're on the counter-attack. He was poor versus Leeds, arguably our worst player. Yeah, I assume that was what you meant. And who do you think will join? Look, if I was going to put money, I would have said CAMAVINGA, but the more and more time that goes on and the less and less links to CAMAVINGA, that I really wouldn't put money on anyone to join. So I think we will make one more signing. I think Lingard will go for 20 million and we will make a deadline day midfield signing. I just can't guarantee who that deadline day midfield signing is. It could be a crap player. It could be a last-minute panic buy. Alan says, keep up the good content, Alice. Thank you very much, Alan, for the chat. And Maximumu1 says, I saw Varane. It's going to come on second half. Next game, possibly. I don't know if you're right now. Where did you see that, Maximu? Let me know in the live chat. Where did you see that, by the way? And fun fact, Donny played all 6 UCL games last season. He did in the end. He actually did, and he was good in all of them. He wasn't the problem in any of them. The problem in them was Fred in the defence, and that's why we got knocked out. I'd be not happy if we end the transfer window without buying a CDM. Yeah, look, we've had a good transfer window. I'm not going to say we've had a bad transfer window, but if we don't sign a CDM, then yes, I wouldn't be super happy either. I do agree with that, by the way. This is a bit more news on my screen. Manchester United have upgraded the away changing room broadcast media facilities as a wider £20 million revamp. You can see a video of that on Sky Sports. This news coming in that we have ended our interest in Soundagares. Just thought I'd show a little bit of news on my stream while we're on my live chat. My Wi-Fi sucks. I know my Wi-Fi sucks, okay? It's really bugging me today. It's never normally this bad. And all that. Monaco out, Tchouameni in, I agree. But yeah, that's a little bit more news for you guys. Guys, please do hit that like button, subscribe down below, share the video. I'm having a very, very bad day with my Wi-Fi, so I would appreciate it if you could subscribe and see that my Wi-Fi isn't normally that bad. Again, Brandon Williams expected to join Norwich City on loan and all of that. This is a good thing. This is a good picture, actually. Look at this, guys. This is our squad depth for next season. What do you think about that? You know, what do you think about that? Because I think that is very, very good. You know, I think we do have a very, very good squad. I just think we need an out-and-out CDM. But again, and that is Manchester United squad depth for next season. Keep getting your questions down below in the chat. I am going to go through the live chat, by the way. Pereira deal is done. Just thought I'd fill you guys in on that, obviously. And look, this is a lovely picture, guys. This is a lovely picture. Paul Pogba and Varane in training. Southampton are beastable. We are undefeated in 26 away from home in the league, and they lost Vestergaard and Ings. It looks promising. You make a solid point. Southampton have lost 2 of their best players, and I completely forgot we've got our away record from last season to continue on. You know, we could beat Arsenal's away record. I think we're 2 or 3 away wins away, or just unbeaten away games away from beating the away record. So I completely forgot about that. But thanks, Yash, for putting that in chat. I completely forgot about this whole away record thing and all that. Locatelli done for Juve, so that door is closed. I think we all kind of knew that Locatelli was going to go to Juventus, but I think Locatelli was a player that, you know, all us Manchester United fans wanted to get. But I think we just knew that he was going to go to Juventus. Neves or Neves, please. Time to win some silverware now. Arrow's cheap in case Bruno is injured. Let's go United. And I agree with that as well. And Nick says, I think Tchouameni wants to leave Monaco as they were knocked out of the Champions League last night and he wants Champions League football. Yeah, I think that's the case as well. I think now they're not in the Champions League. They're in a situation where they more have to sell. I think if Monaco didn't get knocked out of the Champions League, they would be like less eager to sell. But now they're not in the Champions League. They're not going to get that money as well. So solid point from there. Would I take Yax Mariba? No, because I really don't know who he is. And Tchouameni is pronounced Tchouameni. I can't pronounce names. If you're a follower of the channel, you know I mess up all my names. Like, I can't pronounce foreign names, and I will apologize for that. My Wi-Fi is normally shit, and I can't pronounce foreign names. I think my Wi-Fi's improved. Is the Wi-Fi better now, guys? Because the stupid Wi-Fi bar, after 30 minutes into the stream, and the bad Wi-Fi bar has finally disappeared off my laptop. So I'm hoping it has improved and all of that. And deal won't happen. Keep dreaming. Oh, ha ha ha. You never know. You never know. No one thought Varane was going to happen, and we signed Varane. You got to remember that. And that's good, Nick. He could play for us in 10 years if we sign him. I like how we're signed for the future. Yeah, Tchouameni and CAMAVINGA are future signings, by the way. Any questions for me, guys, please do get them down below in the live chat. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do subscribe to the channel. I do daily Manchester United content on the channel, so make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you're not subscribed, hit that like button, keep sharing the video and all of that. Let's go for 100 likes. If you haven't hit that like button, please do hit that like button. And any questions for me, get them in the live chat. I'm just taking a quick drink of water, by the way, guys. But any questions for me, please do put them down below in the live chat. This guy says he doesn't want Ndidi to come to us, and I don't know why. 8 man of the match is something even Bruno didn't hit that last season. I'm pretty sure Bruno got at least 8 man of the matches last season. And then Ndidi would want to come, but Leicester wants 70 million plus him. He's easily top 10, 15 DMs in the world. I 100% agree that. I think Ndidi would come to Manchester United. I'd love Ndidi at Manchester United. But again, I know and you guys know that Ndidi would be a very, very, very difficult player to sign. Alice, what's Jesse worth? He's worth £25 million because West Ham are being difficult. Because he's got 1 year left on his deal, I think he will leave for £20 million. Lingard is back for injury, which is good to see. And is a French league lower quality, but for a 21-year-old, he is seriously looking like the next Kante. And yes, that's a very good comment there. Arsenal are a banter club. We all know Arsenal are a banter club and all that. I'm just scrolling down the live chat, so sorry if I missed out a few of your live chats, but hello to everybody in the live chat. The Wi-Fi looks a little bit better now, so I do apologise for that earlier. It's amazing how you fans just drop lines and say sign them without thinking about what want the players my club to have say about it. It's had arrogant at times. We just want the CDM. All us United fans care about is winning. We want to be the United we used to be, so we want to get a CDM and go back to our winning ways. It's just the way it is, you know. We want these players and we want our owners to do a little bit better. Arsenal 27 unbeaten away games, Man U 26. So yeah, we need 2 more wins or 2 more unbeaten games away from home to beat that record. So that would be awesome if we could do. There's also TV rights issues. French still messed up by broadcasters who couldn't provide, so they lost money. The clubs expect set Rennes and PSG need money stream quality has improved. Yeah, stream quality, well, it has improved. It's probably got worse now, knowing my luck. And Cavani is back in training at Carrington. Do we really need a CDM? I personally think that Manchester United do need a CDM, but it's all up to opinion. I just think, look, the way I look at it is Manchester United played their best ever football last season. So when we played our best ever football last season when we had the season before last season when we came back from lockdown and we played the 4-3-3 Matic, Pogba, Bruno. I think the best football we played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was when he was interim manager with Matic, Herrera, Pogba as a midfield three when Ole was interim manager before he got the permanent job. And the second best football we ever played under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, you have to say, was post-lockdown when we won 4 games in a row by a 3-goal margin, when we played Matic, Bruno, Pogba in the midfield three. The best football we've played has not been with McFred. Yes, the Leeds game was great, but the best football Manchester United played is when we played Matic as an out-and-out CDM, and it's been Pogba, Bruno, or Herrera, Pogba in the midfield. And to play that football again, we would need a CDM because unfortunately Matic can do it a few games, but he can't rely on that. And if you get a top CDM, even if you play Donny box to box and Pogba on the left, you could play a top CDM, Donny, Bruno, Pogba on the left, Sancho on the right, Greenwood up top, and you're looking at a monster of a team as well. You've just got to think about that as well. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe down below. We're 4 subscribers off 16,250 subscribers. 4 subscribers off 16,250. So if you're not subscribed, do make sure you are subscribed. We just need 4 more people to subscribe, so we hit the 250 mark, so we're a quarter of the way to 17k. Have you heard anything on Neves and CAMAVINGA? The Manchester Evening News claim that we have dropped our interest in Sal Neves as we don't think he's the type of player that we want in the Kibit. But we know from FABRIZIO Romano that our dream signing in the midfield would be CAMAVINGA. That's still the situation, but we're waiting for CAMAVINGA to make up his mind. CAMAVINGA hasn't made up his mind on the future. Guys, if you're watching and you have not already, please do make sure you hit that like button. Let's go for 100 likes before the end of the live stream. If you think my Wi-Fi is shit, if you're annoyed like me that my stream quality is playing up massively because my Wi-Fi is being shit, hit that like button because the stream quality is absolutely awful right now. And all I can do is apologize because my Wi-Fi is just having an absolute mare today. And indeed, he is Leicester's best asset, to be fair. And you know what? Indeed, he is. But, Leicester signed Tchouameni. Leicester aren't in the top 4. We are. I think, we should go all out for Ndidi, personally. How confident you have a central start versus Southampton? Well, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is his favourite, so I'm not super confident. But I think that he should start. I think he deserves to start over Dan James. And I believe that even if he doesn't start, he will get minutes. So I'm going to say a 50-50 that Sancho will start. I don't think Brown will start, but I think Sancho could. Someone's asked me, Alice, do you think McTominay could convert to DM role? I think if he was going to convert to a DM role, we would have seen it by now. I think McTominay's best position is a box-to-box player, and I think we've seen that because McTominay's best games have been when he's got higher up the pitch. I don't think defensively McTominay is one of our best players, if you want my honest opinion. Please get any questions for me down below in the live chat, by the way, guys. Any questions for me, keep popping them down below. Hi, Alice. I think Lingard should remain in the squad and Dan James alone instead. I think we should have sold both Dan James and Lingard. I think we're not going to use them. Lingard wasn't even on the bench versus Leeds, and if we're going to look to the bench versus Leeds, we would have gone to Sancho. We would have gone to Donny. We wouldn't have gone to Lingard as well. So I think we need to sell Lingard because for his career and we can get money for him. I really don't think that we're going to use Lingard that much. This guy says, hi, I hope you're having a good day. I am having a good day, but my Wi-Fi is pissing me off because the stream quality is so bad that it makes me just want to delete the stream after it's live. All I can do is apologize for the stream quality. It's absolutely atrocious, guys. It's really bugging me. But other than that, I'm having a good day. My Wi-Fi is just deciding to be an absolute bitch. We are 20 likes away from 100 likes, guys. So please do hit that like button if you haven't already. And again, I'm sorry. Hit that like button if you think my Wi-Fi is trash because I think my Wi-Fi is trash, so, you should be hitting it as well. And do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. We're 4 subscribers of 16,250. So if you're not subscribed, do make sure you are subscribed to the channel and all of that. Bada bing, bada boom. Pop your questions in as well. I'm doing a little bit of a Q&A in the live chat. So any questions about transfer news, any questions about Manchester United signing players, do make sure you subscribe. Because my screen quality is so bad, I don't really want to have full screen on because it's just blurry. So I'll put that up on the full screen at bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, bada boom, bada bing, and all of that. And Daniela says, I get you want to win things, we all do, but that's that you can't go for club's top players from another top 8 side and get upset when that club wants a big fee. We're not getting upset that club wants a big fee. We know that club want a big fee. We get upset because we think our owners can actually probably play that big fee. They just won't. Do you think Jadon Sancho will live up to expectations? Says Miracle. Now, Miracle, that is a very, very good question. And you know what? Maybe in his first season, he could be disappointing. He could be like Kai Havertz. Maybe in his first season, he could be disappointing. But I do think that Jadon Sancho, because of his age, because of his potential, because of, you know, he's got a long way ahead, because of his stats, he is a generational talent. And I do think that Jadon Sancho will end up being a very, very good signing for Manchester United. We might not see it in his first season, but I think we will see it come a second. You know, although I did say that about Depay and I was wrong, but Jadon Sancho was in the Bundesliga, Depay was in the Eredivisie. You know, the Bundesliga is still a stronger league than the Eredivisie. Is the Bundesliga the best league in the world? No. And overall, is Depay a good player? Yes, he just didn't work at Manchester United. Hey, let's get a fibre connection. Great speed for your Wi-Fi. I'm going to get a Wi-Fi booster because today the quality of my stream has really upset me. I'm not going to lie. I think the image always looks good no matter how bad the Wi-Fi is. I think we're all enjoying the view. Thank you very much and all that. We're now talking about how bad my Wi-Fi is. Back to Manchester United chat. Ole needs to put his foot down and get Lingard to his office and say, I know you work hard, but there's not a place for you here. You're third choice after Bruno and Van der Beek, or you go on the bench. Look, I honestly think that Ole probably has done something like that, to be fair. I really do, because I look at the situation and I just go, you know what? Ole might have done that. You never know. Ole might have done that, but yeah. I think Sancho will take 3 weeks. Varane will take 1. Yeah, that's the situation. I think Sancho will be involved, but I don't think Varane will be. It's a frustrating situation because I would just stick Sancho and Varane versus Southampton, but look, I just have a feeling Ole Gunnar Solskjaer won't do that. I really do. I want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to do that, of course, but I have a feeling he won't do that. We are 2 subscribers away from 16,250 subscribers, so if you're not subscribed, guys, please do subscribe to the channel. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, make sure to subscribe. This is the worst quality stream you're going to see on this channel because my Wi-Fi is having an absolute mare. Future streams will not be this poor. I do have to say that as well. My Wi-Fi is just having an absolute mare today. So do make sure you subscribe, by the way, if you're not subscribed, because there's going to be a transfer news update video tomorrow. There's going to be a match preview for Manchester United versus Southampton on Friday. And on Sunday, it's the Manchester United versus Southampton watch long, match reaction, and more. I actually want to know, guys, let me know in the live chat, who would you play in midfield versus Southampton? What's your midfield 3 versus Southampton? And if it's not a midfield 3, what formation would you play? If you were Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, let me know in the live chat right now. Comment down below. If you were Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, what lineup would you play versus Southampton? Because for me, I'd be playing De Gea in goal, Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw as your fullbacks. I'd be chucking in Varane. I'd be going, Varane, look, I'm chucking you in. I know you haven't trained long, but boom. I play Varane and Maguire as my centre-backs. I play Matic as my holding midfielder with Van der Beek as a box-to-box, Bruno as the cam, Pogba on the left, Sancho on the right, and bada bing, bada boom, Money Mace up top. So it would be the lineup versus Leeds, but Sancho would come in for Daniel James, and Fred would come out for McTominay and Donny. That's personally what I would do. I actually am really intrigued to see, guys, what would you do on Sunday versus bada bing, bada boom, what do we call them? Southampton. And also, I think Southampton, you've got to remember, are a very, very weak side. And that's why I think we're going to have a lot of the ball. And that's why I'm dropping Fred. Yes, they were good versus Leeds, but we didn't have much possession versus Leeds. I can see some of a lot of possession versus Southampton because they're a lot weaker side than they were last season. As someone mentioned earlier, they've lost Vestergaard, they've lost Ings. The only good player that I can think of now is James Ward-Prowse. I don't think Southampton are as strong as they used to be, and I think there's a real chance that, you know what, Southampton could even go down as well. I do think there's a strong possibility that Southampton could go down. Guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. As I said time and time again, on the road to 17,000 subscribers. If you want to stay up to date with United news, make sure you are subscribed and all of that. Keep getting your questions in the live chat. Alice, do you think Man United made a mistake by selling Lukaku? I'm going to say no. Do you know why I'm going to say no? Lukaku is a great player, but he wasn't really a great player at Manchester United. He was a good player at Manchester United. He was a player that I expected more from at Manchester United, and he wasn't a priority to sell at Manchester United. We had a lot more depth than Lukaku. But I thought, you know what? Lukaku didn't offer that much to Manchester United. He's gone to Inter Milan, and he's beefed up. He's in better shape, and he's got his career back on track. I think it was time for Lukaku to leave. He's probably going to boss it at Chelsea. I think he's going to be a great signing for Chelsea. But at the end of the day, look, we're not really, like, it's not like we're crying out for a striker right now. I think if we didn't have Martial, if Greenwood wasn't a player he was, and we didn't have Cavani, we'd probably be sitting here going, yeah, we really do need a striker. But if, you know, I don't think we need a striker as much as people say we need Harry Kane, we need Haaland. For me, I think we do maybe need a striker next year when Cavani leaves. But I'm like, we've got Martial, we've got Greenwood, we've got Cavani. Look, who do we have at CDM? Matic. Can Matic play week in, week out? No. So I don't think selling Lukaku is a mistake. My internet is better. I've just found that if I don't go to full screen, my internet looks a little bit better. So yeah, I do apologise for my Wi-Fi being trash. First time tuning in. Guys, if this is your first time tuning in, please do subscribe because I'm live tomorrow, I'm live Friday, and I'm live Sunday. Jadon Sancho says that Southampton, Ollie will put start Varane and Sancho. Sancho is ready and Varane needs to build up a partnership with Maguire. Southampton is a perfect start to that. Exactly. I think Ollie should play Varane. I know Varane hasn't trained much, but I think this is the good game to chuck Varane at the deep end. You don't want to chuck Varane in versus Chelsea first game. This is Southampton. This is a very, very good game for Varane. It's a very good game for Varane to get used to the Premier League because I think Southampton, again, as I said before, are one of the favourites to go down. And do you think Ollie is satisfied with the midfield and these new midfield talks? Just Glazers creating facade positivity, says Jaggerman. Look, you know what? I don't think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is satisfied with the midfield because none of us fans are satisfied with the midfield. None of us fans are satisfied with McFred. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not stupid. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably knows that as much as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer loves McTominay and Fred, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably knows that McFred probably aren't good enough. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer probably knows he needs a CDM because what news came out from the Manchester Evening News that Manchester United did want to play a 4-3-3. And we can't play a 4-3-3 with McFred because they're not good enough to hold on their own. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in pre-season was playing Matic and Donny in a 4-3-3 and he saw that it was working. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as interim manager, when he played his best football, played a 4-3-3. Matic, Pereira, Pogba. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer post-lockdown played a 4-3-3. Matic, Pogba, Bruno. The best football he played on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a 4-3-3. If you look at it, post-lockdown, interim manager, the two best periods of football under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Manchester United played a 4-3-3. And why don't we play 4-3-3? Because we don't have a player that can hold other than Matic, and Matic isn't reliable. So I 100% believe that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants a new midfielder. He can see what we can see. Surely Ole can see what we can see. We all see we need a midfielder. I think he can. I just think with the Glazers, there's always the chance that we're getting linked to a midfielder because Ole wants one, and the Glazers are just going to keep telling us we're getting linked to a midfielder. So then when we end the transfer window, then they get the heat. Not now, but definitely the Glazers could say we want a midfielder, but I think Ollie knows we need a midfielder. Any questions for me, guys? Pop them down below in the live chat. Any questions about transfers? Any questions about possible players to join Manchester United? Do pop them down below. Keep hitting that like button. Keep subscribing. Keep sharing the stream as well. And all of that. SK says, what's your ideal midfielder? Who would you like United to sign this summer? Ideal midfielder would be Ndidi, but I think it's unrealistic. So more realistic options would be Kessie, Sakaria, Basuma, Tchouameni, Camavinga, Neves. Do you think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will use the same formation? It really depends if he gets a midfielder or not. And it really depends on if he actually decides to give Matic and Donny a go. I don't think Ole's going to change it up from McFred. As much as I'd like to see Matic and Donny play, and Donny's bulked up and Donny's had a good pre-season, I don't think Ole's going to change it much from McFred. So I think it could be the same thing next season. And all with that. And 4-2-3-1, Matic, Van der Beek, Pogba, Bruno, Sancho, Greeny. That's exactly what I want to see as well versus Southampton. Don't worry, Alice, the Wi-Fi might be bad, but you are good. Yeah, again, my Wi-Fi is really, really bad today. It's really, really playing up. So I can only apologise for that. And Nick says, I think Ollie is sticking with the same team again against Southampton as it worked well against Leeds, and another game could work again. If not, changes will be made. But the thing about Leeds is the game that's different to every other game you play. Just because something works well versus Leeds doesn't mean it's going to work well again. And I think that's the situation that frustrates me with Ollie. It's like, just because this worked versus Leeds doesn't mean it's going to work every game. Just because it works one doesn't mean it's going to work every game. And I think with Leeds, especially, if it worked versus Burnley, if it worked versus a team that were more likely to play week in, week out, I'd be okay. But Leeds is just different to every team. If you have just joined the live chat, by the way, a journalist in Sasha Tavalieri has said that Manchester United are interested in signing Tchouameni and are in talks with his agency. It is possible that United will make an opening bid to AS Monaco for Tchouameni before the transfer window closes. So reports from a journalist called Sasha Tavalieri saying that Manchester United are prepared to actually make a bid for Tchouameni before the transfer window closes, and we're interested in him. I think with the Tchouameni situation, I'm sure we're interested in him. We want a midfielder. He's a great player. We know from Romano that if we sell Lingard, we will go for a midfielder. I'm sure we're interested in him. But I'd say wait for Romano, wait for Mohamed Bassini, wait for our tier 1 journalist to get on that. But that was the news about Tchouameni as well. Slow down, you speak too fast, I know that. And Yash says, when we have these easier games, it makes sense to have Varane ready for tougher games in November, December. Haaland can come next season. Yeah, but I think you want to get Varane in these easier games so he can build up and get used to the league before you chuck him in to the hard games. Do we need Haaland next season? I think we do, but unless Grima goes out and scores 30 goals, I think we will need Haaland, because I think Cavani will leave, and it really depends what Martial and Grima do this season, to be fair. Join late, what did I miss? In terms of news, we were just talking about what Ollie could do versus Southampton. We're talking about that Andreas Pereira has gone out on loan. I think it's a joke that he's gone out on loan. I think we should have sold him permanently. Brandon Williams will go out on loan to Norwich. Diallo looks set to go to Crystal Palace, but there's no serious updates on that. And Lingard, West Ham move is dragging. But we think Lingard will go to West Ham, but maybe not for £25 million. It will be £20 million. And because we will sell Lingard this window, and I'm 99% sure Jesse Lingard will leave this window, I think that Manchester United will go for a midfielder, but that midfielder won't be Soundagares. The Manchester City users were not interested in Soundagares. He's off the list. That midfielder won't be Goretzka. It won't be Ndidi. It won't be out of our price target. It could be Tchouameni. It could be CAMAVINGA. It could be Neves. For me, those are the three midfielders to keep an eye on. But knowing United will probably go ahead and sign Sean Longstaff. Jaden says, when do you reckon United uninterested to a DM will escalate by the weekend? I just think this is the week where we'll know if something's going to happen with CAMAVINGA, Tchouameni and all that. I think there's been news about Tchouameni. I'm sure FABRIZIO Romano could get on it as well. I think give it a week or so and I think we'll know. If you want my spin, I could see us signing someone pretty average on deadline day and it being a bit of a disappointing third and final signing. Alice, what does Ollie see in Dan James? That he knows the player, he can trust the player, pace, works hard, plays for the badge, but he's not very good. I think Ollie knows with Dan James, he's going to work hard, he's going to be a workhorse. And I think that's personally what Ollie sees in Dan James. By the way, guys, if you are not subscribed to the channel, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you want to stay up to date with all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news, please do make sure you are subscribed to the channel. We're on the road to 17,000 subscribers. We're 48 subscribers away from 16.3k. So if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe because, again, I'm live tomorrow night, I'm live Friday night, and I'm live Saturday for more United news. With games coming up, Ollie should start with Maguire and Varane, then drop down Danes for Sancho. 100% agree, 100% agree. And Yash says he is potentially the next candidate upgrade on Fred McTominay. 100% agree. And Tchouameni was ahead of CAMAVINGA for the France Youth under 21s. Exactly, because Tchouameni is a lot more experienced than CAMAVINGA. He's 2.5 years older as well. And to be fair, I think CAMAVINGA is probably a better bargain, a better deal. But I think in terms of a player, if you sign CAMAVINGA to Manchester United, I think CAMAVINGA is the dream midfield target. You don't know if CAMAVINGA comes and starts for Manchester United. Like, we could sign CAMAVINGA, but we don't know if CAMAVINGA is going to go ahead and start for Manchester United week in, week out. With Tchouameni, again, we don't know if he's going to start for Manchester United week in, week out, but he is ahead of CAMAVINGA. And, if Chelsea want him and Chelsea have got a better midfield than us, I'm sure that he's good enough to get in our midfield. It's just, will Ollie give him a chance or not? Does everyone think we're okay with Ollie, or should we go for Conte? Look, I'm not going to get into the Ollie in, Ollie out debates until Ollie starts losing. If Ollie loses to Southampton and loses 3 or 4 games on the trot, we'll be talking about managers. But for me, Ollie's been backed. We started the season well. We'll stick to Ollie in until we need to be Ollie out. Does Ollie frustrate me with his McFred obsession? Yes. Does Ollie frustrate me with his Dan James obsession? Yes. But as long as the results are good, I'm not going to be talking about Ollie in, Ollie out until the results take a turn, which they probably will. Which trophy does Man United have a good chance of winning the season? I think it will be one of those pointless Carabao Cup trophies. I can't see us winning the Premier League or the UCL, but you never know. I'd love to win the Premier League. I'd love to win the UCL more than anything. It would mean so much because it's been so long since we've won a relevant trophy. As well, we should beat Southampton with the same team. Yeah, I think the team we play versus Leeds should beat Southampton, but at the end of the day, I think Southampton would be a good debut for Sancho because, again, it's not too hard of a game. And Yas says, it's Leeds. The squad allows us to rotate and pick the best team versus different opponents with different play styles. Exactly. And Suma says that Pereira going on loan, some wage bill reduced. If a deal for Lingard is finalised, I think we will definitely go for a midfielder. I think we will go for a midfielder, definitely, but I don't know if we'll sign one, definitely. But yeah, you make a solid point. We're not getting Ndidi, Pasumo or Kante. I think that's pretty obvious. We would have been linked to them by now. Would I like them at the club? Yes. Is it going to happen? No. Southampton are a different side. We need a different approach. We should avoid Ward-Prowse free kicks 100%. We should avoid Ward-Prowse free kicks a lot. And Tchouameni is a great long-term signing. I agree. And Kante is too expensive, like 30. We need a younger DM who we can rotate with. I agree. We could rotate Tchouameni with Matic, and then we wouldn't need Fred. So even if, because Matic, the problem with Matic is you can't play week in, week out, and he's not consistent. But if you're playing Matic 50% of games and Tchouameni 50% of games in the CDM spot with either Donny, McTominay, or Pogba as your box-to-box, then you wouldn't need to worry about it. And imagine CAMAVINGA, Tchouameni, and Van der Beek in midfield. Like, that's never going to happen realistically, but that would be absolutely lovely. Although I'd rather have Bruno instead of Van der Beek, or do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'd like one of them, Van der Beek and Bruno in midfield, 100%. And United will only buy CAMAVINGA if Pogba leaves. Well, no, FABRIZIO Romano said that the CAMAVINGA deal has nothing to do with Paul Pogba's future, by the way. A lot of people didn't know this, but United signing CAMAVINGA has nothing to do with Paul Pogba. It generally doesn't, actually. United really like CAMAVINGA. He's a dream signing. It's just, will CAMAVINGA choose us or not? That's the situation with CAMAVINGA. That has been the situation with CAMAVINGA. Talking really fast, the reason why I'm saying, Guys, CAMAVINGA to Manchester United could happen this summer, but it's gone quiet, it's dying out, because to be fair, Rennes want to sell CAMAVINGA, CAMAVINGA wants to leave, but CAMAVINGA only wants to leave to a club he wants to go to. And does he want to go to Manchester United? His agent's pushing for the move, United are pushing for the move, Rennes are pushing for the move, but CAMAVINGA isn't pushing for the move. So CAMAVINGA probably doesn't want to go to United. So that's why I feel like we're not going to get him. Maybe. But we have to wait and see. Whatever happens in the next summer, Pogba's definitely not leaving this summer. 100%. Pogba will stay this summer. And I've said this time and time again, like, we're going to have a little discussion about Paul Pogba's future. Paul Pogba, if he continues to play the way he played versus Leeds into the next few games of the season, and Manchester United continue to win and pick up results, I believe that Paul Pogba will stay at Manchester United. When the results drop for Manchester United, if Paul Pogba's form drops, I think he will leave on a free. Now, United are taking a big risk because this is Paul Pogba's final years. This is his last chance to get a big contract. If he commits to Manchester United and we go in the direction we've gone in the last 8 years under the Glazers where we haven't won anything, that's Paul Pogba giving up the rest of his prime years for trophyless stuff. So I think United are taking a massive risk with Paul Pogba, but I do think if we play well and he plays well, that he will stay at Manchester United, I think. Yes, says the Pogba issue for next season. If he doesn't sign a contract, we are more concerned about player outs. We can get someone in. CAMAVINGA wants Real Madrid or PSG. I do think CAMAVINGA wants Real Madrid or PSG. I think if Pogba goes, though, that cements that we would get a CDM and possibly play Donny as box-to-box as well. But hopefully Pogba won't go. And Aspan says, if you buy Tchouameni, but we ain't going to play him under Oli because he can't rely on them. For the biggest example, this is Ahmad. Yeah, this is the situation with Ahmad Diallo as well, you know. I think, you know, Oli can buy these great youngsters and actually spend 30, 40 million on a great youngster, but Oli's not playing Ahmad ahead of Mata and Dan James. Ahmad's the one going out on loan. You know, we've given Mata a new one-year deal on ridiculous wages and sent Ahmad out on loan, and I think that does sum up Oli as a manager. He doesn't like to trust new players, and it frustrates me because I think Ahmad Diallo could offer a lot more than Juan Mata. Any questions for me, guys, pop them down below in the live chat. I'm going to try and read and respond to as many questions as possible in the live chat. We've got a good 10, 15 minutes max left of this live stream, so any questions, pop them in. Alice, what will define a successful season for you with the squad that we have now? I think a trophy and top three. A trophy and top three, because I think that we have a good squad, but I think Manchester City and Chelsea personally have a better squad. So trophy and comfortable top four, hopefully top three. Well, in the sense of like we've got top four sealed with about 3 or 4 games to go, and a trophy I think would be a good season for me. And I hope that we, like, I'm not saying that we have to win the title. I'd like us to win the title, but we're actually in like a significant title race. We might lose the title by 4 points. Like we're up there in the title race with a trophy. For me, is a good season. Which goalie should be our number one, says Miracle. I'm interested to get your guys' thoughts on this. Guys, let me know down below. Dino or De Gea? Put in the live chat right now. Dino or De Gea? I'm going with De Gea because I think he's better than Dean Henderson. I think De Gea is over-criticised. I think if De Gea was English, he wouldn't get the criticism that he got. So I'm going with David De Gea. I think Dean Henderson's a great keeper. I have really no issue who starts because I think they're both great keepers. But for me, David De Gea is the better of the two. Yash says that Pogba deserves £500,000 a week if he plays like this, like he did first game of the season. Yes. A 7 out of 10 Pogba week in, week out is enough to win silverware. Yeah, I 100% agree with what Yash is playing. What Yash says, if Pogba plays well, I have no issue giving him a bumper contract. It's just that because with Pogba, you don't know what Pogba you're going to get. But if Pogba continues this form, I have no issue with United breaking the bank and actually giving him the contract he wants. You know what? I don't. A miracle for me, David De Gea at the moment, he's better than Dean, but needs to be more consistent. What about you? I agree with that. I think that De Gea was probably better, but I think De Gea gets over-criticised because people do have things against him. Dan James should be going out on loan instead of Ahmad, in my opinion. So, yeah. And Oli out because Oli plays his fave players and it's unfair to Van der Beek. We want Zidane. I mean, that's my... If I was Oli out, that would be my motivation behind it, a lot of it. Pogba needs to win trophies. I mean, United needs to win trophies more importantly. And some of you guys are saying Tom Heaton. I think David De Gea personally, myself, over De Gea. Ooh, I splashed myself. David De Gea or Dean Henderson, let me know. I personally go with David De Gea. This guy says, I disagree with you about the Ahmad thing, Alice. I think Oli manages young players really well. There's loads of evidence for the same. Ahmad already has a goal versus Milan, and his time will come. Look, I get your point. I think I'm not so much criticising Oli. I think it's just, I feel like Oli should give them more of a chance. I think when you've got Mata and Daniel James, who haven't offered anything to United in the last year, Mata and Daniel James have very rarely had a good game for Manchester United when they've played in the last year. That is not fair for a player like Ahmad when he gets his chance and he plays well to then be on the bench with Dan James and Mata behind him. In my opinion, Pape Sarr expected to go to Manchester City with Manchester United interested in Tchouameni now. That's an interesting update. We'll have to see what happens there. Look, Manchester City just want to go out and buy everyone, but I really, really hope Manchester City lose their next few games and Grealish just regrets going and Manchester City don't finish in the top 4 and United win the title, but that's not going to happen, is it? What about Grant? He can coach himself. I mean, Lee Grant's the best goalkeeper in world football, best goalkeeper ever to be. And I'd go with De Gea, but I keep Hendo on loan. He's a worthy replacement. Yeah, I think Dean Henderson is a worthy replacement. I think you can easily replace De Gea, but I don't think Dean Henderson is at that level that De Gea has had as well. Alice, great channel, always get straight to the point. Thank you very much for the comment. Hendo on loan, keep the media away. The media are obsessed with Dean Henderson, aren't they? I think it's going to be Tada, it's Sean Longstaff, he's in the market. You know what? It wouldn't even surprise me if you signed Sean fucking Longstaff on deadline day. Like, I wouldn't even be surprised, guys. Dean to Arsenal, 45 to 50 million with a buyback clause. They need someone. Yeah, you know what? I would happily sell them to Arsenal and rip them off for £50 million. And United in talks with the agent of Tchouameni. Has more news come in on Tchouameni to Manchester United, guys? Because a couple of you put it in. Let me go onto my Twitter. Let me zoom out. Let's see what my Twitter has been. What's saying on my Twitter? We don't want this Love Island ad. So, reliable journalist says that United are obviously interested in him. So Manchester United are interested in him, according to Jonathan Schrager. That has come on. So Reliable Journalist said we're interested in Tchouameni. He also says, as it stands, Pape Sarr seems more likely to go to Manchester City than Manchester United. Well, Tchouameni is a player who interests United. So again, it has been confirmed by Jonathan Schrager that Manchester United are in fact interested in Tchouameni. So that's very interesting news coming in, isn't it, guys? Very, very interesting news there. Man United reportedly in talks with the player, guys. How fancy there. So let me keep that up on the screen. A little bit of Tchouameni news coming in. United report, I've seen it, and Fabrizio Romano said on players like Sal Niguez or Ruben Neves. Fabrizio Romano says we're keeping an eye on these players, we're interested in these players, but he said there's nothing advanced with these players to United and all of that. And do I watch Love Island? As not really. I watched a little bit of it on catch up here and there, but I watched like 50% of the episodes and watch it on catch up when I'm bored. I'm not really following it. I only watched Love Island properly in 2016, 2017 when it was the Nathan Cara year and the Kevin Amber year. I haven't really watched it properly since. I think it's gone a bit downhill. It's just full of people that want their brand deals on Love Island, isn't it? Guys, please do make sure you hit that like button. Let's go for 150 likes. Look, we've got like 80 people in the stream, so we can go for 150 likes. That would be banging. So make sure you keep hitting that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Hit that like button, guys. And by the way, keep subscribing as well. We're 45 subscribers away from 16.3k. So if you are new to the channel and not subscribed, we are on the road to 16.3k. So please do subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. Live tomorrow for a transfer news update. Live Friday for the Man U Southampton match preview. We will be getting the starting 11. I think we'll play versus Southampton on the stream, and the starting 11. I think Ollie should play on the stream as well. And obviously Sunday, big day, will be my watch along to Manchester United versus Southampton, as well as match reaction. And I have to tell you what, I am so buzzing for football right now. I just want the weekend to come because I just want to watch this Man U Southampton match. Because when I'm really pissed off that there's an international break in 2 weeks' time. I'm sorry, international break, you can do one. Like, why are we having an international break 3 games into Premier League season? I just want to see Man United play. I just want to see Premier League football. I just want to see football. And I want to see it now, guys. I feel like a little kid saying that. I generally do, but I'm just so gassed for the football coming up as well. When is the Champions League draw, by the way, guys? Because can I ask you a question for you? Because, you know, when I don't know the answer to something, as you know, I ask you guys, and I was wondering, what day is the Champions League draw? Because I might do a live stream from the Champions League draw, but I need to actually know when that is. I could probably easily Google that if you guys can't give me the answer. Does anyone know that hopefully we won't get mugged off in our group? Do you know what's going to happen? Man United are going to get the hardest group, and Man City are going to get easiest groups once again. It is what it is. When do we get our Carabao Cup fixtures as well? When are the Carabao Cup fixtures and FA Cup fixtures coming around as well? But yeah. August 28th, I think. I think you are right. I'm pretty sure. I know it's late August. But late August, I will do a reaction to the I will do a live stream for the Champions League draw. The M situation is on Ollie. If he wants one he can sell to buy, he wouldn't because he favours McFred. I do think Ollie. No, I disagree with this comment. Everyone's bound to have their opinion. I personally disagree with this comment because I generally think the best football Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's played has been when he was interim manager, as I said before, Matic, Pogba, Pereira as the midfield three, or when he came in after lockdown, it was Matic, Pogba, Bruno. I think Ole's played his best football is a 4-3-3. He only goes to the 4-2-3-1 for Lindelof protection because Matic can't do it week in, week out. I generally think Ole does want a CDM. That's my unpopular opinion. Who would you sign, Tchouameni or Neves or someone else? I think Tchouameni could be a better player than Ruben Neves. I think Ruben Neves would have more impact this season, but I think Tchouameni long-term could be a better player. Alice, best formation, home and away, probably the 4-3-3. Play Henderson, CDM, problem solved. I mean, look, we got an extra goalie. People talking about playing Lindelof CDM with Varane coming in. He did play a little bit of CDM before and giving him a run. But the thing is, I wouldn't mind if let's say we drew Barnsley in the Carabao Cup. I'd be like, sure, give Lindelof a go at CDM, but I would not want to risk Lindelof at CDM in a Premier League game because you just don't know what he'd be like. Would he be good? Would he not be good? So yeah, who would be the right placement for Pogba if he leaves? For me, it's simple. If we sell Paul Pogba, he's irreplaceable. But if we sell Paul Pogba and we get a CDM like a Ndidi in, at least we can play a 4-3-3 with Donny as a box-to-box, McTominay as a box-to-box, or Fred as a box-to-box. Because you've got to remember, Fred played as a box-to-box in the Copa America for Brazil and did a really good job next to Casemiro and out CDM. McTominay's best against United has been as a box-to-box. So I think if you sell Pogba, the only way you can really replace him would be getting an out-and-out CDM. August 20th, I think. Winter World Cup throws everything off. You know what? We are nearly a year away from the Winter World Cup. In like a year's time, we're going to be talking about that Winter World Cup. It's stupid they gave it to Qatar. It's stupid it's in winter, and it's you know, the more I think of it, I think the Winter World Cup is stupid, but there's nothing we can do. You know, unless this Afghanistan shit gets really bad and goes to Qatar, like, you know, then Taliban take over Qatar, which isn't going to happen, let's be honest. There's nothing we can do. It's frustrating, but what can you do? It's, you know, the Winter World Cup. It's going to be interesting to see, actually. I always feel like this. It's going to be interesting to see how they organise the season as well next year. When the Winter World Cup comes in next year, like, how is it going to affect the summer? Is it going to be a longer summer, a shorter? Like, that makes me wonder as well. Are Man United going to have to play without certain players? Is the Premier League just going to continue? And are these big clubs with lots of international players going to struggle, like, as well? Dan James is a good squad option. I think he's a good squad player, but I just don't think that he should be starting over certain players that he starts over. Amad Diallo. Did she answer the Love Island question? I had to go. I actually did as well. And September 12th, there about. That will be the thingamajiggy. 26th of August is the Champions League draw. So I will do a live stream on the 26th of August, which is like a week away. It's a week tomorrow away, the 26th of August. So next Thursday, I'll do a live stream for the Champions League draw because that will be really, really interesting. And we can have a little bit of the, because you know what? We weren't really in the Champions League last season. We were in the group stage. I think I'd love to have like a Champions League live stream doing Champions League predictions with you guys, talking about who we think is going to be top scorer. I would next Thursday, I'm going to do a Champions League live stream. Next Thursday, I'm going to do a Champions League live stream for the draw, and we're going to have like our predictions for the Champions League, what lineup we think we should play. We're going to react to the group. Then once we know the groups, we're going to do our prediction, how it's going to go, bada bing, bada boom. We'll do a full-on Champions League day on next week. So do subscribe for that, actually, because that will be exciting. I'm really excited for the Champions League. And you know what? I think we can challenge. Maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I'm just, you know, one of them deluded Man United fans, a little bit positive and optimistic, but you never know. Maybe we can challenge. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm right. But bada bing, bada boo. So do subscribe for that, for Champions League content as well. You know, not Europa League, or in Arsenal's case, no Europe at all. But some Champions League content will be coming up. So do make sure you subscribe to that. By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed, please do actually subscribe. Hit that like button. Share the stream. Do you think Ward-Prowse suits us? I think he's a decent player, but I just don't think he's the player we need. He's not the type of player to play in the pivot. I think he's a good player, but he's not. I don't think he's gonna. He's not Paul Pogba level. Like, do you know what I mean? I think we need a top player to come in. But I would take Ward-Prowse. Frankie de Jong, if we lose Pogba, play Donny in a more advanced role for me. That is the caliber of player we need. Joshua Kimmich. I agree. I take de Jong. I take Kimmich in an absolute heartbeat. Nick Morris says we should have kept Tchouaméni and trained him as a CDM. Young, strong, quick as well. Could have been perfect. You know what? I've never been a fan of risking Lindelof for CDM, but I did almost want Ole to try Tchouaméni as a CDM in those cup games, you know, that we had last season and all of that. Well, I prefer myself to Love Island, believe it or not. And Tchouaméni needs game time, but he could play CDM in theory. I'd rather sell Bai, keep Tchouaméni as 4% back though. Me too, because of Bai's injury record. But Tchouaméni's young. I think he's good enough to be a Premier League player, and I think he just needs that game time. Alice, I don't know about, someone mentioned this in my live stream yesterday. would Newcastle have been a better move for Tchouaméni? Because now Tchouaméni's at Villa, is he going to start ahead of Mings and Konza as well? And Emmanuel says, Alice, see the best guy for CDM issue is Basuma. Simple. I think in terms of value for money, and you could give them Dan James and get him for a little bit less, I think that Basuma would be a very, very good option. But I still think there's better options out there than Basuma, but I'd 100% take Basuma. I'm going to not put that chat up because I might get in all of that. Might get in a bit of trouble. And Miracle says, can Man United go through the round of 16 UCL? Definitely. Unless we get PSG and we get bombed by Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, I think we could get to a semi-final. I think we'll blot a semi-final because it's United, it's Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But yeah. Alice, would Ole be sacked if he wins nothing this season? It really depends. I think if Ole got to a Champions League final and we were very, very unlucky, I think if Ole was 1 point off winning a Premier League title, I don't think he'd be sacked. I think it really depends on how we play. And, I think if we don't win a trophy, we'd have to be Champions League finalists or possibly 1 point off winning a Premier League. But I think Ole has to win a trophy this season. I think we should have won the Europa League. I think there was no excuse for not winning the Europa League. We were a level ahead of Villarreal, and it was Ole's fault. We didn't win the Europa League because you can blame De Gea, but it's Ole's fault. Ole played for penalties. I think United should win a trophy this season. Now we're not in the Europa League. It's harder to win a European trophy, but I think if we don't win a trophy, I'll let us off if we're really, really up in that title race and we really, really look a threat. Because if things are going well next season, if we don't win a trophy, there's no point. But I think that he should win a trophy. I think 100% and all of that. Tchouaméni's underrated. I agree with that comment. And Ole would be sacked if he wins nothing. Possibly. I'm going to answer a few more live chats. So any questions to me you have, please do pop them down below in the live chat. Imagine someone like American. Oh, I don't know what you're on about. Southampton, Newcastle, Norwich in theory for Tchouaméni because Brandon's up there. Yeah, look, I think we've made some good loan moves. I'm just hoping Brandon Williams is going to go to Norwich. Tchouaméni's up there, and Diallo will probably go to Crystal Palace, I believe. I think they're quite good loan moves, actually. I think that they're quite good loan moves. I think I really want us to see our loan players getting time in the Premier League. Neves is perfect for us, says FC as. I think Neves. A lot of people are a big fan of Neves. I've never been the biggest fan of Neves. I would take Neves. I think he's a good player. I think he's a decent player, but I've never been that person that's like Neves is a player that we need. For me, indeed, he's a player we need, but I know we're not going to get him. But I would take Neves. I'm not Neves' biggest admirer. I've watched Neves a lot last season, but I definitely take Neves and all of that. But yeah, I think English young players just aren't prepared for penalties. And whenever we finish the season, I expect our squad to be really competitive this season. I expect us to be competitive this season as well. Any questions for me, guys, please do pop them down below in the live chat. We are 1 subscriber away from 16,260. So if you're not subscribed, do subscribe. We are now 41 subscribers away from 16.3k. So please do hit that like button. Please do subscribe down below if you're new to the channel. Share this video with your friends and all of that. I've got 5 minutes left of this live stream, so I'm going to power out some live chats. So, please put your questions in. And by the way, if you're new to the channel, you've not seen my face before, I interact with pretty much as many live chats as I can. I update you on all the latest Manchester United news and transfer news while interacting with live chats, while doing United match reactions, match previews, while doing watch-alongs. I'm going to do a Champions League draw. We're going to have a Champions League day. This time next week, we're going to be reacting to the Champions League draw. We're going to have a Champions League day as well. And we're talking about the situation. But as it stands, Pereira's gone on loan. Tchouaméni, we're generally interested in it. More reliable journalists are getting on this Tchouaméni story. So I definitely stay subscribed, stay prepared, because keep an eye on Tchouaméni to Manchester United. We're going to wait and see what Romano says. We're going to wait and see what Mohamed says, what the Athletics say. But make sure you're subscribed, because I think there's going to be some really interesting updates coming on Tchouaméni to Manchester United, probably in the next couple of weeks, to be fair, because we've been linked to him more and more, and it could be one of them signings where we don't get linked to him at all, and then all of a sudden, last 2 weeks of the transfer window, which we're in, it starts picking up, and with Lingard leaving and with Pereira gone now and Williams going out on loan, I think really do keep an eye on this Tchouaméni story. I do believe there's something in this. We do have to wait and see what Romano says, but this is new. This has come out of nowhere, but this is starting to pick up a little bit more. So do make sure to subscribe, because we're close to signing Tchouaméni. If any big updates come on Tchouaméni, Camavinga, Neves, or any player linked to Manchester United, I will be live to update you guys on that, by the way. Fred or Donick? Donick, for sure. Yash says Rashford will be on the bench for a few games until he gains fitness. And Pogba will play central in 4-3-3. Ollie will find a way. And yeah, Jadon Sancho says we are top of the league. Hopefully we contain it. Oh yeah, guys, sing with me. We are top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. Yeah, we are top of the league. And yes, if Pogba leaves on a free, who should take the blame? The board, the Glazers, 100%. I think we're talking about another Sarr. We're talking about Pape. Pape Sarr's not Watford's player, is it? Pape Sarr. I don't believe he is. Pape Matar Sarr is an 18-year-old. Yeah, he's not Watford's player. He's an 18-year-old at a league-owned club. We're not talking about Watford Sarr. I just wanted to double-check that, but I was pretty sure it was that guy. Bayern, Barcelona, Man United, Juve. Who says no? I hope that. Imagine that as a Champions League group. That'd be nasty. Can the league end now? Arsenal relegated. You know what? Can the league end now so we can win it and we can get rid of Arsenal and all of that? But yeah, any questions for me, guys, do pop them down below in the live chat. We've got a couple minutes left in this live stream, so any questions, of course, pop them down below. You know what to do. If you're not subscribed, you've got to go and subscribe. Share this video. Bada bing, bada boom. So yeah, any questions for me, pop them down. We've got 3 minutes left of the live stream. This is a longer live stream than normal. The reason this is a longer live stream than normal is just because my Wi-Fi had been so bad that I just feel like I owe it to you guys to not have a shocking quality throughout this whole live stream. This live stream is like 20 minutes longer than normal to make up for the fact that we had the first 20 minutes of just shocking Wi-Fi. Who will play more, Cavani, Greenwood, Martial? That miracle is a very, very good question, but it all depends on form. I think right now, it really depends on who's scoring, who looks the best, who does the best in training. It all depends on form, but I think they will be rotated. But I think because Martial and Greenwood can play wide, that Cavani would be featured possibly through the middle. But I think Greenwood will end up playing the most games in general out of the three because he's starting now and he can play on the right and stuff. But yeah. Arsenal is the best team for the Championship. I think Arsenal actually might do well in the Championship. I think Arsenal could challenge for a title in the Championship and a top 4 place. So, I think Arsenal would like the Championship. They wouldn't be bantered as much. And Waham says, can Ollie keep Lindelof happy since we got Varane? I think Ollie can because Ollie loves Lindelof. He'll probably start playing Lindelof over Varane, knowing Ollie going to Solskjaer. And Jonas Loic says, I prefer Ruben Neves, Sao Niguez, one of them, not Camavinga or Pape Sarr. I think the situation with Camavinga and Pape Sarr is they're not very experienced, so if we sign them, they're going to get chucked in the under 23s, especially Pape Sarr, maybe not Camavinga, because if Donny can't play them at Fred, you expect these players to. And I think Camavinga and Pape Sarr could be better investment signings, could be better in the future, but I think when you desperately need a CDM now, I do think that Ruben Neves and Sao Niguez probably would be better signings. So I think Martial's going to go to Spurs. No, he's going to stay. Martial will stay. Maybe he'll leave next summer and we'll get Haaland. I think Martial could definitely leave next summer, but he's not going anywhere this summer. Martial, Pogba, and Donny van de Beek are not going anywhere this summer. Pereira's gone. I think Lingard could go. I think we'd like to get rid of Jones, but he probably won't go anywhere. And there's always the possibility that DALOT could go. But yeah. Do you think DALOT will be a late developer? Talking about DALOT, I think DALOT's a solid player, solid backup for Wan-Bissaka. We'll have to see really with DALOT this season. We'll have to see. I don't think he's going to get that much game time, to be fair. Greenwood, to be honest, 7 goals in his last 9 appearances. Greenwood is on fire. Do you believe the coaching setup needs to grow and change? 100%. I think set pieces are poor. I think the defensive coaching at Manchester United is very, very poor. I think that the lack of rotation in the late subs is very, very inexperienced, naive, and poor. I do think there's changing need to be made in the coaching as well. If we don't sell Lingard, do you think we'll still get a CDM? Only if it's Camavinga, just because I know Camavinga doesn't depend on ours. But if it's not Camavinga, then probably not, to be fair. Honestly. But I don't think we get Camavinga. More news is coming in today. Cavani did train at Carrington and all of that. We're just waiting for a little bit more news to come out. Let's see if anything relevant. United Plugger tweeted that Tchouameni is a player that interests United. As it stands, Pape apart, Sarli seems more likely to go to Manchester City than United. That's coming from Jonathan Schrager. So that's the news there that, again, I'll just pop up on my screen for you guys. So just seeing if there's any updates while we're on the Twitter. But yeah, this was one of my more interactive live streams where I talk to you guys, chat to you guys about the news. And of course, sit there and hope that you guys are clicking that subscribe button if you haven't already. Greenwood's on fire. Your defense is terrifying. Greenwood's on fire. Your defense. Greenwood is on fire right now, though. Let's be honest. Greenwood is on fire. And yeah, we did get Eric Ramsey, young set-piece manager who did well for Chelsea. I think we're surprised this season. Yeah, I don't think there will be massive changes straight away, but I do think this set-piece coach signing will be a very, very big signing at Manchester United. I think it will almost be like a new player because only Leeds conceded more goals from set-pieces than us last season. And for a club with Maguire and Varane at the back, you wouldn't be expecting Manchester United to concede a lot of set piece goals either. So yeah, definitely. I think that's the situation as well. I think hopefully we'll improve massively on set pieces. Obviously, the Burnley game. So we had a pre-season friendly versus Burnley that we won 3-1. Manchester United had a pre-season friendly versus Burnley that they won 3-1. And, you know, Maguire scored a header. Maguire also scored a header in another pre-season friendly. And although, like, the corners weren't great versus Leeds, you know, Maguire scored 2 headers in three of his last games. Obviously, 2 of the games that he scored a header in don't count because they were friendlies. But, you know, I watched some of the clips from the pre-season friendlies, and I do think set-piece-wise we did improve. Could you sing the Bruno anthem, please? Well, my voice is tone deaf. I will just make you go deaf if I start singing. But you know, when Bruno scores, we will sing the Portuguese Magnifico song, of course. Wahab, I'm assuming that's how you say your name, says we need a DM this window. It would come back to bite us if we don't. Fred can't win you a major trophy. And look, I agree with you. I think you're talking facts. I don't think Fred can win you a major trophy. But this is you know, Matic and Donny I think can. Can Matic do week in, week out? Probably not. I think we do need a DM. Will we sign a DM? Well, Lingard's going. I think we'll sign a midfielder that can play in a pivot, but I don't think we're going to get an out-and-out DM. And I think if Manchester City don't sign Harry Kane, and if some Chelsea players flop this season, I think we can win a title without signing a DM. But if Manchester City sign Harry Kane, there's no way Man United are winning the Premier League title unless we sign a DM. I don't think Fred are good enough to win the title with. I agree. Who should be sold? De Gea or Dino? I'd sell Dean Henderson just because you could probably get £40 million for Dean Henderson. His wages aren't as tragic as De Gea's, and he's younger, and you can get more money for him. And I think De Gea's better. Do you think about the game against Burnley was helpful? Well, we beat Burnley 3-1 in the pre-season friendly. I did do my video yesterday. I talked about the Burnley 3-1 win in the pre-season friendly, by the way, guys. And, you know, Sancho got some minutes. Donny and Matic got some more minutes. Not that they needed it because they had a good preseason. They should be starting games. You know, I think it's really, really good that we had that preseason friendly versus Burnley because we obviously missed one of our preseason friendly versus Preston. And a lot of players weren't involved in preseason as well. You've got to remember that. Pardon me. A lot of players weren't involved in preseason. So I think that preseason friendly versus Burnley helps. And we beat Burnley, so that makes it great. The Burnley game was helpful. We needed minutes on our legs. 70-plus games if you get into the semi-finals. That's all comps. Exactly. Jim says, honestly speaking, we need to bring in players that will be featured into starting lineup in no time. These things of buying young lads and then loan them, it's getting frustrating. Yeah, we don't want to turn into Chelsea. I think, for me, I will stick by this. I will not change my opinion, even if Mata has a good season. For me, we shouldn't have given Mata a new contract. We should have let him go, and then we'd be able to use Amad Diallo more. Amad Diallo is going out on loan to Crystal Palace. And you know what? I don't think Amad Diallo should be going out on loan to Crystal Palace. I think Amad Diallo should be starting ahead of Dan James and Mata. I think we should have let Juan Mata go, and I think we should have sold Dan James for £15 million. I think we would have sold Dan James if Rashford wasn't injured and going in for surgery. I think Ollie panicked. But yeah, I 100% agree with that comment. And Yash says, McTominay actually turns up in big games. You make a good point. Look, McTominay is very, very inconsistent, but I think McTominay, like, you know, the Europa League final, who was our best player? I thought he was good versus Leeds. When we played Barcelona and got knocked out of the Champions League, he was very, very good. We have good records versus City, Chelsea, etc. Yeah, McTominay does turn up in big games, but the midfield does get overrun. He turns up in some big games, you know, he does. Dragon Man says, why can Liverpool sell their Deborah for 20 mil, but we can't sell an ex-first team player at all? 100%, 100%. I can't believe that Pereira's gone out on loan. I can't believe we haven't sold Pereira permanently. I can't believe that Phil Jones is still a Man United player. And we hopefully will get 20 million for Jesse Lingard. And hopefully we can get 15 million for Dan James in the next year. Even if City doesn't sign Kane, should still get a DM. 100%, 100%. Yeah. I think if City sign Harry Kane, we can't win the league unless we sign a DM. I think if City don't sign Harry Kane and Chelsea flop, we could probably win the league with McFred. But I think we need to get a CDM no matter whether we think we can win the league with without a CDM or not. I think, you know, if you really want to be a top team, I think we are a top team. But Man City, if we really want to be a team where we believe we're going to win the Premier League, we believe we're going to be the Champions League, we need that CDM. And I believe there's a chance we could win the Premier League and, you know, we're top of the league. Say we are top of the league. We are top of the league. But as I've said time and time again, do I believe we're going to win a Champions League? No. Do I believe we're going to win Premier League? No. It's possible. You know, I didn't think Chelsea were going to win it. This time a year ago, someone told me Chelsea were going to win the Champions League. I wouldn't have put money on Chelsea. But I still think we are the CDM away from being the finished product. Make sure you do subscribe to Alice Talks Football if you are not subscribed to the channel, by the way. Miracle said, should we sign a young DM or more experienced DM? I have no issue with us signing a young CDM, but for me, I think we need to sign a CDM that's going to do what Prime Matic could do, what Prime Carrot could do. And the CDMs that can do that are players like Ndidi and Rice and are more experienced. So I think what we really need is probably an experienced DM to come in, hold on their own, so Donny can play that box-to-box role, so Pogba can play that box-to-box role. But yeah, I think we should just sign an experienced DM. Diallo wouldn't be getting first-team football even if James was sold. Probably true, but I think with Rashford's injury, he would have. PSG also for McTominay, he needs to pass better and better positioning. He's our most improved player for sure. Phil Jones will likely stay. He deserves to play football somewhere. I think McTominay is a good player as a box-to-box. I just don't think McTominay works in the pivot. I think as a box-to-box player, McTominay is decent. I think his best games come as a box-to-box player, and I'd like to see him evolved as a box-to-box player a lot more. Jaggerman says, how far can you expect us to go in the Champions League? I'm going to go semi-final. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm going to go semi-final. We're a very semi-final team. We're a team that likes the semi, so what can I say? And Yash says, young DM around 21 to 24 years old, someone who can be in and out of the squad. We have Matic, Fred, McTominay, so we can ease them into the squad for the future. Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think for me, I would love a CDM to come in and lift us like Ndidi, but I know that's not financially possible now. We've got Sancho and Varane. So I think, we've got one more year out of Matic. He can't play week in, week out, but maybe a CDM we can rotate with Matic. But I think we do need it. I think Tchouameni would be better than CAMAVINGA just because Tchouameni is more experienced. And I think with CAMAVINGA, he would get chucked in the under 23s. Whereas with Tchouameni, I think he's experienced enough to be playing ahead of McTominay and Fred. Whereas CAMAVINGA, I'd like him to play ahead of McTominay and Fred, but I don't trust that Ollie will do that. By the way, guys, if you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel because we've got a lot coming up on the channel. Tomorrow, I'll be live with some more transfer news updates. I'm pretty confident there's going to be quite a few updates on CAMAVINGA to Manchester United in the next few days. So please do subscribe if you want to stay updated on CAMAVINGA to Manchester United. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, sorry, not CAMAVINGA, Tchouameni, sorry. I believe there's going to be some updates on Tchouameni to Manchester United in the next 24 hours. I believe there's been a lot of stories about Tchouameni to Manchester United. And what I was going to say is I believe that FABRIZIO Romano is going to come out and probably give us an update. Or maybe Mohammed or maybe The Athletic is going to come out and possibly give us an update. Maybe a Tier 1 journalist is going to come out and possibly give us an update on Tchouameni to Manchester United. So I would say stay subscribed for that. I'm sure there's going to be a big transfer news tomorrow. And I will be live tomorrow night with a transfer news live stream. I'll be live on Friday night for the Manchester United versus Southampton match preview. I'll be live next Thursday for the Champions League draw reaction. We're having a Champions League theme video live stream next Thursday. And of course on Sunday, live watch along Manchester United versus Southampton and match reaction. So make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned for that. But thank you everybody for tuning into today's live stream. If you have not already, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe down below if you're new. I try to get through as many live chats as possible. So if I didn't answer any of your live chats, just subscribe down below, put that bell notification on. And then tomorrow I'll be replying to a lot more live chats. So any live chats I didn't answer in today's live stream, I'm going to try and answer in tomorrow's live stream. So if you're subscribed with bell notifications on and I'll ask me any questions that I didn't answer in today's live stream, ask them in tomorrow's live stream. I will try and answer them then. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Thanks for everyone being so supportive in the chat. Leave a like, leave a subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. See you.